Okay, Act 3. Not pleased to see the Time Eater. I never am. Um, Especially since we've invested in the ability to play more cards, and that's kind of the recap. We did go with a second energy relic, so now we have 5 energy every turn. Act 2, the deck got a little bloated, but every step of the way I was kind of feeling where we were, and I think Simmering Fury was the only card I took because I just liked the card rather than we needed it at the time. We've been doing a good job up until that point of getting into Wrath in the now, so getting into it next turn may not have been the best thing. One thing I did not comment on at the end of the last part is having the extra energy does play nicely with our second copy of Vault, which we're not going to be able to upgrade right away. So yeah, deck's a little bloated, but it got that way by feeling how it was flowing from one match to the next. So I don't know that necessarily there's a problem per se. It's Act 3. We can test in the early matches, but I'm not so sure that we need to be hunting down elites. That said, I'm not really sure there's a reason not to. So just taking a look here, this has extra fire here. I like the idea of that. Another fire here, fire there. This would be the path if we wanted to do 2 elites, whereas this one just has way more fires. 5 total? Am I seeing? Yeah. 5 total. We can get into a shop here and hit the first one. Over this way, it would be 1 fire. So we're coming here no matter what. 1 fire, 1 elite. Yeah, I like the more campfires, so that's what we'll be doing. Alright, and the path, we don't really have much hallway fights until later. You know, I wonder if that means if we only take the 1 easy fight here, if this one will actually be an easy fight, because that's how it works on Act 2 and 3. So yeah, let's try that out. We'll be hitting lots of... this should be a fairly quick segment, I think. Alrighty. This might just be lethal, because we have the triple damage option, so let's count it up. This will do 9, causing this to do 50% more, so this will do 15, that's 24, and everything else does triple. So that's 21, 45 total, 30, 75, so 18, that's 80, 93. I count 93 here, and Cut Through Fate draws us another card, which matters because we're only looking at 4 out of 5 energy. So yeah, we definitely crush joints first, and you're going to see here why I put such a premium on this card. And now we can look at this. This is a 34 between the two. This is 32, so this is worth more technically, but we don't actually need it. I'm going to do it first just because we did have 1 extra energy. That's free. Oh, he's already down to 1 health. Look at that. So yeah, we just nuked him turn 1. So I hope finally in the run we are, you can consider my decision to keep this as vindicated, because that's the whole point, crush joints with the miracle to guarantee its setup. Hey, I will definitely take a Sash Whip. I know we're to the point of bloat now, but we don't have any way of applying weak. That's another card I like to look for early on, in addition to crush joints, because that's one of the problems the deck is facing with this bloat level is, can we summon enough armor gain in the times that we need to? And weak assists with that quite nicely. Right now this is less than this. I gotta do more research off camera about Madness. It keeps coming up. Other than the fact that you're drawing a card that does you nothing right now, I don't see much of a downside to this. We do have a number of cards that cost more than 1. So, nevertheless, I'm just going to take the safe option. It's less health loss overall. Although we do have this, so having don the red mask and just get money for free. Don't mind if I do, because look at this. A shop. And I do believe it's the last shop of the run. we could go buck wild if we really needed to. The deck's too bloated to even think about Mantra at this point, I think. We do have a fair amount of card draw, so the fact that it's bloated hasn't been a problem yet. I don't think we have a third way to enter Wrath. Technically, yes. That's more of a delayed one, though. I was just looking at Empty Mine. I think the dropping stance would be too much when we're already doing decent card draw. Let's see here. So we will do Molten Egg because we can. I don't see us taking that many more attacks, though. I like the idea of Panacea. Get an artifact. We are going to be facing a lot of fires, so this will give us 2 if we choose to upgrade it. Obviously, our second vault is going to be the first one. I think we could stand to remove another strike, just because we have been adding more attacks as we go. So I really like the idea of that. It does preclude us from buying the pair, and I think that's fine. And that just leaves us with Panacea, really. Are now shown in order. I've never played with this one, and with the deck we're playing now, that seems like it'd be a really good idea. So I'm going to go for that. Yeah, looking at everything else, I think I'm going to go for this. That is persistent. So we'll do it like this. Alright. Can't buy potions because we have the Sozu. So not a bad shop at all. Thank you for the red mask extra money. This is why I actually like the random events in general, because I like the way they tie into one another from one act to another. We just hit our last shop, so the money's not worth it at all. We're obviously way more powerful than any... What is going... Oh! This is really cool. Is this how the... somebody tell me, is this how the relic behaves normally? Or is this one of my mods? Because that seems kind of helpful. So we know, without even having to click on anything, that we're going to draw into strike, wheel kick, Fear No Evil Vault. We're going to get a vault next turn, and Deus Ex Machina. Being able... Wow! I'm so glad I chose that. Even, I mean, the fact that we have Deus Ex Machina makes this really that much more important in my mind. Okay, so we don't have a need to draw a stance in our visible hand, so we play Empty Mind first. Oh yeah, I totally forgot we could totally see which cards we'd be getting. Crushed Joints because we can. And remember if we pass our turn, it's not the end of his turn, so those won't even count down. We do this, and then we vault. Still no Wrath. 3, 6, 9, so we wheel kick first. Oh, we could have seen here there was no way to enter Wrath. Well, that's unfortunate. Thankfully, this is an Act 1 boss, so we might just have like a whole lot of damage regardless. Oh, there's some... oh, the ink bottle. I wasn't paying attention. We'll probably just be able to kill this guy outright now. Yeah, we're doing triple damage. He's not attacking us. We could do that first. We could pop another miracle to conclude. Alrighty, so I gotta get used to being able to see the cards, because there was a couple times we were drawing and I was surprised by what came, and there's just no need for that. Incense Burner, yet another survivability. Let's see, that is also once per combat at most. So we'll do it like this. I don't think we need any of these. Skip. Alright, Campfire. Definitely Vault. No question. Okay. I always play it safe here. 4 damage to all enemies. I normally like this card. I think in this class it's not necessary because of our multipliers and stuff. This is like not special levels of damage for us. Diluting our deck doesn't seem good. We're done with 2 energy for 25 is not bad, but we're done with shop, so skip. And that's part of the reason why I then don't pay for the extra options. I've heard so many different people say different things about colorless cards, that they're garbage in general, that they're pretty strong, so they're worth taking there. Let's see here. We haven't been getting a lot of recurrence out of this since early Act 1, or since Act 1. So normally I would be okay with upgrading this just because it recurs so much. 4 block for each card in hand, that seems good. This draws more cards, that draws more cards. As of right now, card draw has not been all that important, but we have been having a little bit of trouble getting into Wrath. So I think I do want to focus on the cards that say card draw or scry. And if that's the case, then I think Empty Mind makes sense first, followed by Simmering Fury, then Third Eye probably. Wheel Kick. Wheel Kick. Does that upgrade the cards drawn? It doesn't. Okay, I wouldn't expect it would since it deals damage. Alright, we'll do Empty Mind first. We got a lot of fires this act, so that's good. What's in the box? Wow. Okay, so that goes along with the anchor. Oh, whoops. You know what? We'll do this. There we go. That's better. I've never had... I've been thinking about this. Like, we have Empty Body and Empty Mind. If we had picked up an Empty Fist, would they have, like, combined into one big card? That would have been nice. Or maybe there's an achievement. I've never had all 3 of the nautical ones simultaneously. It would have been nice if they like combined, or there was like an achievement or something. I'm not really into achievements, but ones like that seem like they would be kind of fun. Alright, so next we want to upgrade Simmering Fury because it draws more cards. And now we get into what should hopefully be the second easy fight. I don't know if these guys are considered part of the easy pool or not. Sometimes we see them with 4. Okay, we have Conclude and Vault, so obviously we don't want to conclude. We can Fear No Evil this guy. We have to keep track of the fact that... Alright, so this is like one time where the Mark card would be somewhat useful. I don't think we actually have any way of being able to hurt this guy. I'm thinking like Fear No Evil, Enter Calm, get some extra energy. But the problem there is then, well, we have so much energy that we can follow up without the payoff. So that's what I'll do. I'll Fear No Evil to put us in Calm. Empty Body drops us out of Calm, gives us enough block to be able to attack this guy a little bit. We hit that guy because we can absorb it. And then we Vault. Alright, I am going to Spirit Shield here. Well, no, because if we Empty Mind first, it's just more. Yikes, that's a lot. Okay, so now we can go nuts. Obviously, we wouldn't want to tantrum this guy. This is a good target for Bowling Bash. A nice, big, single hit, so we're not... I mean, obviously, with this level of block, I just try to do things in a way that makes sense for all situations. So there's that. We don't have access to triple damage this turn, but that's fine. Oh, I forgot it acts as a multi-attack. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see here. So, 21 and 20, this is 24. So there's that. And then this should be lethal. They never got a chance to take a turn. I think we're good. Now that we can see our next hand, does that make Scry more valuable? I would think it would. But is it so valuable to dilute what's becoming a small selection of block cards? That's unclear, because it's like, right, the Scry could get us to a block card if that's what we need. And we do have 5 energy, so it's not like the fact that we got to pay one for that. Alright, I'll go with that. It runs almost over. That's insane. All those campfires and random events. Alrighty. So let's see if we can kill these guys before they ever get a chance to do anything. There's a vault, so yes. This gets us there. Crush joints. We do that to the one with the most... Wait a second. Oh! That's why I was surprised. These display them differently than I'd think. Okay, this is the most visible. We see the whole card, not just the title, and that's its way of indicating this is the top card. I was just assuming this was the top card. So now if there's any way we can draw one card, that would be great, and Cut Through Fate does exactly that. So let's crush joints first. Now we do 50% more just against him. But we want to favor the ones that are attacking us. So Cut Through Fate to make sure we get our vault. We don't need to scry anything. In fact, we would like to have these cards. So I'm just going to discard none and go with the card draw for Volt. And I could Simmering Fury, but we already know that we're going to have a way to enter Tantrum. So we could just Vault and be done with it. Or I could Simmering Fury now, especially knowing that we got Deus Ex Machina. That way we can be in Wrath, which amplifies all of our other ways of getting into Wrath. So there we go. There's Volt. And I keep forgetting to look at this, so I should definitely keep track of that. Alright, so the last thing we played, Crush Joints. We are in... this is the only one not influenced by... Wait. I should be more careful here. These guys are now taking triple damage. This one takes double. Yeah, so this would just kill this one outright. Follow up, we want to do that at some point. Oops, Bowling Bash just got weaker. It does 24 per. It's big overkill either way. 16 per. Okay, so this is the only way that works. I forgot about the Consecrate. That's fine. I was just trying to figure out how to work the follow up, but this works too. Consecrate and then Tantrum. There was no wrong answer there. I was just trying to make the numbers fit as well as I could. I don't think there's a need for a third Crush Joints. Wrath of Flame was one of those cards that I discarded out of hand, but I took a second look at it for a few reasons. It's a skill, so this would be another Crush Joints activator, right? And so the fact that it itself does no damage is fine, because it would basically make the Crush Joints not only active, but do basically double damage. This obviously also works better with Tantrum, which turns them into multi-hit, Bowling Bash. So this is not a objectively bad card. And we do have good card draw, but I don't think it says so much that getting into Mantra... I mean, this is literally the end of the act. Would Time Eater last so long that we get into Divinity? Maybe, but we're already, against a single target in particular, we're already doing a good job of setting up triple damage. Yes, it comes with the downside, and this is going to be my first time playing with that downside with cards that say end your turn, so I'm sure I'm going to make a mistake or two. Alright, what's next? This is technically card draw. And now that we're getting towards the end, the chance that we're going to be casting this goes up. So I will do that. Scry 5. Oh, yeah, okay. I was thinking Scry is useless because of this, but that's not true. We can choose to. And the fact that we can see what cards are next will help us to determine how much of a priority it would be to cast that just for the Scry, even if we didn't necessarily need to block. He's going to be attacking us, but only for 10. We have 10 free armor, so I think we can kind of go nuts here. The fact that we can see our hand makes that easier to determine. So we will be drawing 2 cards. And yes, we have Spirit Shield. The two cards would be Third Eye and Strike. So we don't have any way to drop out of Wrath, and the fact that he would only be doing 20 when we already blocked for 10, and we do have our buffer, and I think there's probably a good chance we just kill this guy in like 2-3 turns anyways. So would we need to Spirit Shield? Third Eye gives us 9 block, that's 19. We would be taking 20. If we did Spirit Shield, that's a skill, 3 energy, 4, 6. So we'd have full block, we'd be in Wrath, and we'd do max damage. We'd be missing out on a strike, but that seems fine to me. And right here is the most cards we're going to have in hand for that, so I'll just do it that way. Alright. I've done the math a few times, and usually it makes sense to apply the vulnerable before entering Wrath. And in this case, we have almost no choice. Obviously, we have this to activate the Crushing Blow, or Crush Joints anyways, but there we go. That hit for 67, that wheel kick. Alright, so we stay in Wrath, but we don't get punished for it. And I'll have to keep in mind that his 10 became 21. And of course also we have the Lash. Alright. We could do some stance dancing for Flurry of Blows, but I think that's a net loss overall. It would be one of those things we're doing it just because we can, and I'm not so sure that's... Oh, you know what? I should have cast the multicast one last, just to... Fear no evil. He's not attacking us, so it's safe to do this without exiting Wrath. Alright, we haven't had much luck with Crushed Joints. Alright. Empty Mind. We don't actually want to exit. So that's really bad. And it's nice that we can see it, because now we can cut through Fate and discard all of them. Follow-up is basically free. However, we have Crushed Joints here, so let's draw into that. Oh, wait. Ideally, we'd want to draw into Vault, wouldn't we? And we have no other card draw, so we will use Cut Through Fate to get ourselves to Vault, even though both of these discarding kind of sucks. Now we do this, it's free, but we don't need the extra energy anyways. And Vault. And look at that, his slow counter stays, which is quite nice. Consecrate. Last thing is an attack, so we'll do this. It won't matter though. Simmering Fury will do for the card draw. Obviously we are in Wrath, so that's not important. We Vault. Tantrum first, that way if we do any card draw, follow-up's free. That's free. This has no downside. Alright, so we're going to end up with extra energy here. So the question is, do we do Vigilance? Tantrum's in our next hand. No, we don't need the block, and we don't need to pool the energy. Alright, I guess I'll let this guy have a turn. Crush Joints. We do that first, so let's set it up by doing that. Tantrum. Oh crap. It's not enough to kill, is it? 10 times 4 is 40. This is triple, that's 18. It's 58. Okay. I was looking at this at the top of the turn, using this as the skill to activate Crush Blows, but I was like, we don't want to exit the stance, but now it's clear to me we kind of have to. Flurry of Blows. Tantrum, Flurry of Blows. Yeah, and now we're good to go. 57. That's why I chose the wheel kick early on. Very glad that I did. 3 or fewer cards. I'm just going to put that in the expired. This isn't totally worthless. We might find ourselves in an awkward situation with Time Eater, at which point this could pay off. So it's not entirely dead. Just Lucky is Scry 2 now because it's plus. I think our card draw and mana gain is such that this is just a bad idea. I actually think we could afford another Empty Mind. My only reservation is that we're about to enter Time Eater, and then the calculations get that much more awkward as far as like when to use miracles and stuff. I also don't think this is entirely bad, because we might find ourselves in a greater need for block in general. And the ability to... Yeah, especially with this artifact. I think this might be a good choice anyways, so late in Act 3. But the fact that we have this, I think, makes it better. I think that's the choice. Alright, and it's already plus. So last Smith, we are entering final battle with max HP, which is not that big of a surprise since we really didn't do many fights. Single target, so our AoE is not worth, or this. Crushed Joints, we're going to be casting that every chance we can. Upping our block cards could be good. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just do Spirit Shield because it's multiplicative. If it wasn't Time Eater, I would think this would also be good, but we're just not going to have the need to be, unless we could play 12 cards in one turn, which this deck's starting to get to the point where it kind of can, but I think this is the play here. I want to make sure we survive. We know we have the output, but the 12 cards end our turn thing can be a little awkward. Okay, he's going to be doing 20. We already have 10, but I'm just going to lead with this. Wait, hang on. We have Third Eye here. Although Third Eye is not enough block to avoid using the barrier. So... Eruption. Next turn. Always use haste once, immediately after reaching below 50. Okay. Alright, so haste, that's the one time. Ripple. So he's currently doing this head slam. Alright, I actually stopped using flow, the flow chart, because I added Bestiary here, but I'm now seeing that having both of them might be worthwhile, because alright, that comes with a debuff, so we know this is probably head slam. It fits the description. I was wondering why sometimes I would see a little debuff and I drew one less card. I didn't realize it was baked into one of his moves. Okay, so now that we know that, we have great information as to what's going on here. Spirit Shields would cost us 2 energy. It's a skill. We would activate Crushed Joints, Cut Through Fate, Scry 3. That would be these 3. We could put ourselves in Tranquility with Fear No Evil. And then on our next turn we draw Eruption. We'll have one less draw though. Okay, so I think we have an idea of how this turn flows. Yeah, being able to draw the No Evil, Fear No Evil puts us into Calm for next turn. We have 1 energy left. It goes to the Fear No Evil. We don't need it to, though, do we? We're drawing the ability to enter Wrath anyways. And this way our final energy goes to Conclude, which lines up nicely. We already have full block. So I'm just going to not discard anything. because Tranquility is retained. We don't want to throw it in our graveyard. This makes it to where our deck is thinner throughout the fight. Draw one fewer card. Owie! That sucks. Okay, the incense burner kicks in, so we don't even have to pay attention, which is nice because double damage is meaningless. Okay. We don't need the energy here, but I'm thinking the only way we can play Fear No Evil at all is if we play it first. We don't need to end the turn in calm, do we? Yeah, I wish I had. We draw Vault next turn, so... I wonder what happens if you play Vault as the 12th card. I think we get a chance to find out next turn. So yeah, I gotta do this first, even though we don't need the energy. So that's the only way we get to play it at all. There we go. We'll pass the turn now. And we'll just have to make sure Vault is the 4th card we play next turn. I'm hoping to find that it negates that. Yeah. 9. No! No! You screwed us, Ink Bottle! Okay, whatever. 11. Now here's hoping we have another turn. Excellent! So Vault actually neutralizes that mechanic. Very nice. Okay, so we can do this. Empty Mind drops our stance. But it does draw us into more. Right now, the only thing we have to play is Sash Whip. So let's draw the Empty Mind. Sucks to lose the Wrath, but look at that, we get it right back. Crush Joints first, Flurry of Blows first, because Tantrum. The Flurry of Blows juggling might not be the best idea just because of this. We're not going to get around to our other... I suppose we could. We're about to shuffle the deck. This is for the damage. Oh, okay, because we only have 3 remaining. Well, that's unfortunate. It makes sense, though. We're going to be drawing into Tantrum. There's no need in casting Simmering Fury because we're going to draw into Tantrum. We're already in Wrath, and it would require a miracle to do, so that'd be playing 2 cards. I'm just going to end the turn. Okay, so that's the one downside to this relic, is when you get to the bottom of your deck, it's not the best information. Alright, so we only get 5 cards to play this turn, and we want to play exactly 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's all of our energy. So it would either be Tranquility or Miracle. Do we want to throw away a Miracle just to... I mean, yes. The answer is yes. Lining up his end your turn mechanic is important. We don't have to necessarily do Strike. So what would Cut Through Fate get us? Scry these 3. We want to keep the Crushed Joints. I'm not worried too much about the Fear No Evil. Oh wait, it draws a card anyway, so we would want to draw the Fear No Evil specifically. Okay. Actually, we have 2 Crush Joints, so we could discard the first one. Keep the plus. Oh, and we actually draw lots of cards. He's already under vulnerable, so we don't need the Crush Joints now. Spirit Shield I'd like to save for next turn. So maybe we don't play the Cut Through Fate, because we might need the Spirit Shield. Right. Okay. The fact that this doesn't apply vulnerable is okay. We'll be able to apply it again next turn. Next turn also has Vault in it. which won't be able to line up with this, obviously, but okay. Well, we don't have the energy to do all the things we're looking to do. Eruptions in our next hand we could drop. That's probably for the better. So here's... Well, for vaulting next turn, the Spirit Shield is meaningless. So let's do it this way. I think this just does more damage anyways. Yeah. Alright. So we can afford to get rid of the Spirit Shield, because we're going to be vaulting next turn. Keeping the debuff seems... Oh, wait. It actually draws a card. Okay, so if we want to throw this away, we need to draw it right now. Alright, there we go. And then we do have Eruption, which gets us into... So we could play Tranquility rather than the Miracle here. That's probably good. Next turn we're going to have... Next turn we might just flat out kill him, so... I mean, because of Vault, we technically have 2 turns. Oh, that's right, he heals. Okay, never mind. I am still going to be under the impression that we might just kill him before he has another turn. Alright, so we'd want Crush Joints first. Deus Ex Machina's coming up. Do that for the card draw. What just happened? Did the inkwell went off? Crap. I didn't see what got discarded. Was it Wheel Kick? No. This is the order we were playing things, so it was a cut through fate. Could have been worse. Alright, so this is a bad hand. And we're not gonna draw into a way to alter our... get back into Wrath. So this turn's going to be about mitigating what he's trying to do to us next turn. If we drop out of Wrath, this will say 9 times 3, so we need to come up with 27 block, if at all possible. And we can do Third Eye first, before the Empty Mind, to control what we draw. I am going to go ahead and cast Consecrate, because it's free. Then Follow Up, because it's free if you can front load the energy, and we did. Alright, so now we just kind of have to plan, right? We need to mitigate 27. In hand we have 12, 21, 26. Buffer's gone. So that's 1. So in hand we already have what we would need. Alright, so Empty Mind's going to draw us 3. Flurry of Blows is okay. We'll be able to cast that a couple times. Defend over Defend plus. I also am looking at the fact that we're probably going to wind out his clock this turn, which means his strength will go up, which means this will actually read 8 by 3. So 24, and we're talking 12. We just picked up the... I hate how the animate... Okay, we picked up the 9, so that's 21. This would make it 29. That's enough. So we want to be able to draw this off the Empty Mind, or better yet, this... No, it's the same thing. We're already going to be exited stance because of Empty Mind. Okay, so now we got to count cards. Yeah, okay. So in order to achieve full block, we want to spend 3 mana, and we have 4. There's also a thing as Conclude, such a thing as Conclude, so that would be 5. But that's only 1, 2, 3 cards. Oh yeah, Empty Mind, 4, and that's 1 less than... Okay, I gotta start over. Empty Mind, that's 1 card, 1 energy. Vigilance, 2 cards, 3 energy. Defend plus, 3 cards, 4 energy. Conclude. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, 5 energy. We would need 5 cards, so we can just Miracle to do that. Alternatively, we could throw Flurry of Blows in there, so that would be 1, draw into this, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that costs 1, 2, 3, 4 energy. So we'd be able to keep all of our miracles. So we want to be able to draw this and this. This and this would be fine. So let's actually discard all 3 of those. No, because Empty Mind will draw us 3. So let's leave 1 more in there, just so we're not screwing up our next hand. Okay, I think I got the plan here. Okay, Empty Mind, Flurry of Blows, Vigilance. Whoops, I won't be able to Flurry of Blows again. I guess this didn't click over from the third eye. That's fine. 27, 21. So this works out. Oh yeah, it goes up. Dang, we actually take 1. Alright. We only have Tantrum in the deck, but at least we know we're getting into... Hey, look at that. Crush Joints is active right away. Our teapot thingy's going off, so that's good. Because that doesn't matter. Of course, we're at a point here where we have all the energy in the world. There we go. This is better. I was going to say we have all the energy in the world, but not enough stuff to spend it on. Thank you, Cut Through Fate. Sash Whip, and he's dead. Alright, so mentally complicated, but very fun in my mind. Let me know what you guys think. I really appreciate you joining me and any feedback that you've been offering. I try to record all these before releasing the first one just to make sure the run's worth publishing, and I definitely think that it is. So yeah, I will see you in the next run. Take care of yourselves.